Good evening, folks. We're so happy to have you here. Thank you for coming out this evening. We have lots of great music to share with you. My name is Dr. Jerome Flagg. I'm Director of Instrumental Music. And we actually added a new piece just this last week, musician request, and we all felt we wanted to show a statement of solidarity and also support to Ukraine. So we're going to start with the national anthem, and I want to invite Steve Osborne up to just say a few quick words about the lyrics or the anthem itself.
So the Ukrainian national anthem has old music and old lyrics, but it wasn't actually adopted until about 30 years ago after the Iron Curtain fell. And the music is by a Ukrainian composer named Mikhailo Verbitsky, and the poet is Pavlo Cherbinsky. And the lyrics are, hold on as I scroll here, the title is Ukraine Has Not Yet Perished. And the lyrics go, the glory and freedom of Ukraine has not yet perished. Luck will still smile on us, brother Ukrainians. Our enemies will die as the dew does in the sunshine. And we too, brothers, will live happily in our land. We'll not spare either our souls or bodies to get freedom, and will prove that we brothers are of Cossack kin, meaning Cossack as we pronounce it. So that's the anthem. Thank you.
Okay, I just want to say a couple quick words. First of all, welcome. We're so glad to have you all here. This concert's theme is called Art Machines. So every different piece has something linking into that theme of either machines that produce music or music that's inspired by machines, such as the Pony Express or electronics or video games. Could be low-tech, could be high-tech. We'll run the whole range of it. So we hope you enjoy. That's kind of our overarching theme. A couple quick thank you to people who make this possible. Our department chair, Jody Beneke, one of our guests, Nancy Hayeshabara, House Manager Enrique Rojas. Also special thank you to Dr. Frank Chong and all the SRJC administrators who made this beautiful newly renovated hall and another hall over there possible. And I believe Dr. Chong, I think, is here tonight, so we're so glad to have Dr. Chong with us here. Also a couple thanks to some of the administrators in music office staff administrators, David Bosarth, Maricela Macias, And we wanted to give a quick little intro on this next piece. It's called the Pleasure Train Waltz. And one of our musicians loves waltzes even more than me, which is saying something. So, Kyle?
Yes, that's right. I love the music of Johann Strauss, and I think some of you who are in the audience and in the orchestra have come to my Vienna shows. I know that, Jody, you were there waltzing. Jerome, you were also there. And so this next piece is called Der Vergnügungszug Polka. I'm going to give a little German lesson right now. Vergnügen, which means pleasure, and Zug, which means train. And I went to Vienna and I lived in Europe several years ago. And taking the train is a normal daily thing. And so in this polka, you're going to really hear how Strauss was really able to write fast polkas, like really fast. It starts off kind of fast, and then I can remember when I was taking the train from Vienna to Salzburg, where The Sound of Music was filmed. And we would start off very slow, kind of gradually get faster, and then slow back down, as you will hear in the music, and then speed up. We're going to play Vergnügungszug Polka.
Hello, I'm Miette, and I play the cello over there. That's me. So this next piece is written by Black female Grammy-nominated composer Valerie Coleman. It was virtually premiered by the Philadelphia Orchestra during the thick of the pandemic in July 2020. This piece honors the frontline workers during the pandemic, and we'd like to take a moment to recognize the nurses, doctors, and all frontline workers, including Zoe Celeste Becker, a nurse who plays in the horn section.
You all can hear me. If there are any other people, maybe you could raise your hand if you were any type of frontline worker. That could be medical, that could be nurse, it could be doctor, it could be anyone who was sort of up on the front line. Maybe they could raise their hand if we could see who you are. That would be great to kind of be able to say thank you.
All right, and my name's Cassie. I play the violin. So here's a few of the composer Valerie Coleman's words about the piece. So it's called 7 O'Clock Shout, not shock. It's an anthem inspired by the tireless frontline workers during the COVID-19 pandemic in the heartwarming ritual of the evening serenades that bring people together amidst isolation to celebrate life and the sacrifice of heroes. The work begins with a distant and solitary solo between two trumpets in fanfare fashion to commemorate the isolation forced upon humankind and the need to reach out to one another. The fanfare blossoms into a lushly dense landscape of nature, symbolizing both the caregiving act of nurses and doctors as they try to save lives, while nature is transforming and healing herself during a time of self-isolation. Also, you will hear a very fun part. Don't be weirded out by it, you'll like it. Maybe you can clap along with us as well.
Oh.
You'll find it.
Oh. Is that a challenge?
I think so.
Ah, okay.
Great. And this next piece we set up by one of our wonderful violinists, Matteo Pruski, and this will be followed by intermission. And when we come back, we'll be with a bombastic percussion ensemble and the wonderful symphonic band after the break. I'll let Matteo set up our last piece before intermission.
All right. World of Warcraft is one of the most popular video games of all time, reaching over 2 million players at a time at its peak in the year 2010. The game is set in the fictional world Azeroth, and players create their own characters and explore an absolutely gigantic universe of fantasy. This piece links into the concert theme with the sounds of machinery that you'll hear all throughout the piece, as well as the machine that is a video game itself. In the first section, you'll hear a driving energy and machinery in the background of a very odd 7-beat, which the percussion will be laying down. In the next section, you'll hear dissonance and then resolve with melodic flowing tunes in Lament of the Highborn. And in the final section, Lion's Pride, you'll hear a very groovy percussion beat. Yeah, so let us whisk you away to the world of Warcraft.
Hello. We're kind of confused where Jerome is, but hi. My name is Felipe. I'm assistant band manager here at JC for the symphony, or not the symphony, symphonic band. And right now, our percussion ensemble is going to perform. It's a small group of percussionists and non-percussionists who group up together. It's all student-led. It's not led by a teacher or anyone. We group up before or after a class, and just play together, and we actually get to have fun and make music together. The current piece we're going to be playing for you guys today is Friend Like Me from Aladdin. Hope you guys enjoy it.
That one was a lot of fun, huh? If we have to tough job now, we have to follow that. Very difficult, right? But give another big round of applause. And that was without a conductor. Really impressive. Thank you. Beautiful. We do encourage students to take the leadership in many different aspects. You can see that a couple ways with this group as well as with the previous group. So for instance, that group right there does not have an official teacher. It's student run, it's student rehearsed. I supervise open room, watch them, that sort of thing. But they're picking music, they're rehearsing music, they're running the show. Pretty impressive that they did that whole process start to finish, that group by themselves. On that line of sort of students taking initiative and doing great things, we have a student composer featured later on in our program, but I won't give it away too soon. We are trying to make an effort, of course, to bring a nice variety of different composers when we play these concerts. So some traditional concerts, some new, composers, some traditional composers, some newer composers, and we're really working to include some diversity in that mix. So you heard the previous set, you heard that brilliant Grammy-nominated black female composer Valerie Coleman, just incredible. By the way, she's an amazing flutist or flautist. If you look her up, Valerie Coleman, just brilliant musician, brilliant composer. And this next composer also comes from a neat background. His name's William Owens. He's really well known in the band world, so he's a black composer really known well for the band world and also the string world. He's written over 200 commissioned and public works of this upcoming piece. The list of awards he's won, we won't have time to go through them all because he's done so much, including the ASCAP Plus Award. He was also Texas Bandmasters Association feature composer, which is a big deal because Texas is kind of like, in the band world, Texas is sort of like the big stage, if you can make it there. So he's featured in Texas all the time. And he wrote this next piece entitled Across the Great Plains. So you might say, art machine, Great Plains, I don't get it. It's about the Pony Express. And so Pony Express started in 1860. And so this is hard for us to imagine with cell phones in our current world, right? But they needed faster communication with the West. That was why Pony Express, there was a need for it. It was a 2,000-mile trail, and this is fascinating that they would leave from St. Joseph, Missouri, and Sacramento, California, on horseback simultaneously. And I guess the packages, went both ways. Even more impressive, despite all the hardships and risks, this was obviously, it took someone pretty brave, pretty bold to take this on as a job. Over a 19-month run, so the Pony Express went for a little over a year and a half. They only lost, in total, the whole time, one package, and everything else got to where it's supposed to be. Now, no jokes about the Postal Service, please. We hope you enjoyed this one. So the machine here is very low-tech, but very impressive. So this Pony Express machine, a machine to get mail and get communication across the country to the West. This is Across the Great Plains. Okay, this next piece, I'm going to bring up our student feature composer. If I may brag about him for a moment, is that okay? He's about to graduate from here at the end of this year. He's been an amazing, amazing presence at this program. Josh, come on up so they can see who you are while I'm bragging about you. You won't blush like me, don't worry. So you're fine. Josh has been amazing. He's been a huge presence in the band. He's a tremendous saxophonist. He's played lots of solo recitals, done amazing things. He's really a budding composer, and I think that's more his primary thing. He wrote a piece during the pandemic that was virtually premiered, got really rave reviews. If you YouTube search SRJC, the piece is called Resonance, like resonating resonance, and it was a chamber piece, really beautiful sounds and layers and colors. And then this piece, he took on a mammoth challenge of writing for an entire concert band. Really difficult, and he's done an amazing job. Wrote this really neat piece he's going to tell you about. We also, one of our big missions here, of course, is let's give students opportunities to lead, excel, and do sorts of great things here, and then also send them on to the next place so they continue developing, keep moving, get their careers really going. So Josh's plan, he'll be at, it looks like the plan is SF State next year, pursuing, what's the exact name of the music degree? Help me out.
Composition with lots of different other focuses in digital audio, things for movies, games, like classical experimentation, I don't know.
So did you all hear that? So composing in digital audio, and also especially music that's going to be in sort of the industry of video games, film music, all that kind of stuff. And SF State has a big sort of growing and really impressive program for that. So Josh's got a neat background. He's off to do great things. We'll miss him here. He's also our band manager. Has done so much behind the scenes. Let's get Josh give an intro to his piece that we're going to give the world premiere entitled Day Colors. Josh?
Hello.
Hi.
All right, we're not doing that. So, Day Colors, this piece, is all about texture and taking advantage of the fact that I have like 50 some odd people in here that all have like unique noisemakers that can all do lots of interesting sounds. The primary focus isn't so much on something like a melody, which you might hear in a piece like the last piece we played, Great Plains, or on like a big progression that like drives the piece, or themes that change and vary and get tossed around. It's more about creating a space to sit in and absorb just lots of different sounds and colors. Haha. Please don't encourage me. Yeah. To, I don't know, just be able to enjoy the kinds of music that I have become really passionate about and really joined and become invested in tend to be very like avant-garde, dissonant, aggressive sounding sort of pieces of music that I think are really cool. And I think it's disappointing to me that most of it is really aggressive and dissonant and really hard to listen to. And so what I want to do, like my little personal mission that I've been on recently, is to try and create more music that's sort of in that vein, that's all about texture and timbre and different kinds of sounds that isn't, you know, completely unlistenable to anyone who's not a music major. So anyway, I think that's a good synopsis. So also, I do want to say, again, thank you so much to this ensemble, the group of my peers, and also to Dr. Fleck for giving me this opportunity. This is a very deceptively difficult piece, and I am very grateful for their patience for putting up with me. So anyway, hope you enjoy Day Colors.
And you can read more about Mr. Josh Monson, page 8 of your program. There's more about Josh.
for something completely different. This is taken from Ralph Ford's Video Games Live, but the piece originates from a classic video game called Final Fantasy VII. It tells the story of a hero named Cloud and his ragtag group of fighters who come together to save the planet. They save the planet from this destructive power of a strange otherworldly man, Sephiroth. And he's a towering figure with long silver hair, dressed in black, and wielding a katana that's 6 feet long. And from his back sprouts a single black wing. Now, at the climax of this adventure, Cloud and his friends battle Sephiroth to the death as he summons a colossal meteor to end all life as we know it. Now, please enjoy the Song of the Apocalypse, One Winged Angel.
Folks, we want to thank you again for coming, for all your support. We're also excited now we can start building audiences. You may have heard, originally the show was capped at 100, and so it was only maybe, I'd say, a week ago, 7, 8 days ago, that we actually expanded it, and we were allowed to up to 300. And I think, I'm guessing tonight was something probably like 150, 160. So we're excited now. We're going to start expanding our concerts. If you remember way back when, March 2020, before all that thing happened, it was March 7th, I remember, because like the world shut down like a week later. And but we barely squeezed that concert. That was a sold-out house. So we'll get back there. We're so excited to see you back, and it's nice now we can safely start building audiences. If you're wondering what's our deal with masks, we actually still wear masks in rehearsals, but we have approval during concerts that we can take the masks off. So thank you again. It's so great to have you here. There are upcoming concerts inside your program. You may have seen a couple of SRJC faculty here, Jody Beneke, Dr. Mark Anderman, all these folks here. You can see all their recitals in your concert program on the outside. A couple exciting ones just to put on your radar. Music department students recital, so solo performances by a lot of these musicians. April 8th, jazz combos, May 6th. Concert choir, their next concert, they just gave a great concert 2 days ago. Their next one is May 18th, and the band orchestra May 21st. We're excited. That will be with the Grammy-winning guest conductor, Dr. Eric Johnson. He comes in, it's not just about the show of bringing in award-winning conductor. We bring him in because he spends a full week residency with these students working someone of that caliber. So that's our final concert. He conducts part of that program. That's May 21st. So we're so excited to see you back. We'll look forward to seeing you at the next one. And I'm going to let Will from the percussion section set up our last piece.
Thanks, Jerome. Thanks, Jerome, for those kind words of wisdom. I appreciate it.
Oh, cut it out. Cut it out.
Like Jerome said, my name is Will, and if you've been zonking out the whole night, I'm the tall guy in the back. So to close out tonight's concert, we are playing a piece called Foundry that celebrates the fact that percussionists can make just anything make anything into an instrument out of anything. This piece was written in 2011 and features an array of non-traditional percussion instruments, including bowls, piles of wood, and metal objects.
We'll pause 1 second. Percussion section, can you hold up anything unusual or bang it, clang it so they can kind of hear? Show them a couple of your sounds that you make.
Wonderful sounds of percussion. Foundry links into the concert theme as a foundry is a metalworking shop using machines to cast metal. So the composer of this piece, his name is John Mackey, he said the following to guide the percussionists, us. In some cases, I was specific about what instrument to play, whether it was Tiffany, xylophone, etc. With many of the parts, though, I only described what sound I wanted. Play a clang with a metal instrument, probably struck with a hammer. That creates a rich clang sound and allowed the percussionist to be creative in finding the best instrument to make the sound I described. And so, with that, thank you for joining us tonight for this wonderful concert, and I hope you enjoy our closing piece, Foundry.